Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing well. A little later today because, honestly, life is a mess. Hope you're all excellent. Anyway, like, subscribe. We're doing day 3 recap. We've got a few trades to go through. A few little cheeky ones, and we don't mind some cheeky ones, do we? And we start off with this one. Zaine Cordy going over there to the Saints. Kill the Saints from the Doggies. Obviously, no compensation for them. The Lockie Jones unrestricted free agent pick is the offset for that, as they called it. Makes sense, doesn't it? A fresh chance for Zaine Cordy. And Zaine Cordy is one of them players I find as well that's deceptive. You know what I mean? Just deceptive, 25 years old, but he feels like he's been around forever, doesn't he? And we know the defender, it probably suits what they need. You know, they've gone through a few options there. I'm a fan of this trade. I am a fan of this trade. You know, my wife, she's a St Kilda girl, but he's played a lot of football, hasn't he, Zaine Cordy? And he's also one of them players that I think is in a different team. I think with the opportunities, it suits him. It suits him massively. They definitely needed someone there. He plays that tall role. He has swung forward as well, but I don't think he will be. But 195, do you know what I mean? 90 kegs. And they're getting a bit of experience, aren't they? Over 118 games or something like that. So it's not the exciting trade that you look at and you go, oh my God, that's brilliant. But I think a grouse little bit of business for the team, for them team, for St Kilda. I think it is a very, very good deal. And obviously, if you've upgraded for them, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They definitely needed a key defender, but for Doggies, it's a huge upgrade. Liam Jones is a major upgrade. There's the age disparity, which I will highlight, but for me, they're all round. I think they've given nothing for it. They'll be chuffed with that. The next one is probably my favourite trade of the year. Future second, third, and a fourth, which were all them package deals that the AFL gave them, pretty much 90% of them were, to Freo for Griffin Logue, Darcy Tucker, and a future third. And I think this is a great bit of business because I think when you look at North's list, what they need now is they need fillers to give their older guys a bit of time. Some ones that, you know, you could maybe say are probably average for one side, but very good for another. And Griffin Logue, for me, suits that category straight away. I think he could be an incredible footballer. I think he's very good as he is. And Darcy Tucker as well, that kind of pseudo mid-forward, I think really suits the bill for them as well. I really like this deal. I think North have won this because I think Tucker and Logue will be best 22 for about 4 or 5 years as well. And I think the fresh scenery makes sense. The fact they've taken them together as well, I think is always good for that rehabilitation. And the fact they've got a future third in, huge dub. Because the fourth, they weren't going to get anything with. So really, it works out to be what? The sake of probably what? 20 picks for 2 blokes. That will be your best 22. I think this is a grouse deal. I think it's probably looks on paper good for Freo, but I think it only is good for Freo because they have such an intrinsic knowledge of the Western Australian Football League. So, and what's coming through. But I think for North, incredible bit of business. It's not often you say that, is it? That North have done a good, probably one of the least used phrases in the AFL. So great bit of business for them. We had one of these sexy little swaps here, blatantly here for Brisbane. They're trying to get the pick acquisition for Ashcroft. They sent 15. They probably don't want to do that. It was a good deal for GWS, and 21 and future second goes to them. Makes a bit of sense here because, you know, they're starting to lose the points, this whole discounted system. You'd imagine Brisbane are going to have little to no picks once that pick comes in. Will North do it? I reckon North have to do that pick one. Please, if North, if you're watching, just do pick one, Will Ashcroft. But good little bit of business here for that. Pick 15 gets them really in the window, which I think for GWS, they'll be looking at this pick and thinking, you know, we could make something happen here. Do you know what I mean? Make something happen. I think it's a great little deal for both parties, though, really. But again, it's one of them trades that's just been done, as we always say, purely because of the AFL's inane business of keeping it in. Do you know what I mean? So 21 for Brisbane and a future second. Do you know what I mean? That basically they've sold 15 to have less of a penalty. 15 for GWS, like we say, Huswaite comes into the bill maybe. It would be amusing for me if they put the bid in for Jasper Fletcher at that point. I'd imagine that was discussed in it. It would be banter, but is what it is. Again, one of the manipulations of that rule. But this one here, I really did like. I'm a big fan of Ben Long, and I think he's got a bit of a tough rap. But Ben Long in a future fourth went to St Kilda for that, which I don't think is bad for 32, coming the other way. It's a weird one, this, but I mean, Ben Long, what's his best position? He's been tried all across them lines. I think he's a really good backman, though, and I think he's exactly what they need. And I think since Harborough, they've lacked it. So I think he's a great acquisition for Gold Coast. He's tough. He's a competitor. I'm a big fan of Ben Long's football as well. Mid-ager. I think it makes sense. And I think he's incredibly. I really like him. I mean, 79 games. He can play in that forward line. I mean, is it a stopgap for Rankine? I really don't know. I mean, the experience comes, doesn't it? The experience comes. And I think the fact that they've paid 32 for it's not really a big thing. And I think for St Kilda, what they're looking for, 32 makes sense because they could buy a Ben Long quite easy. And I think they've got them players, but I think they're looking more for them key positions players anyway and an established forward. So in that 32, Mungara and players like that may appeal to them that they want like another pocket forward or someone. But decent little bit of business for both of them. And then we finished with this one. Tom Berry found a new home along with 46 in the future second for 25, 36 and 56. Again, Brisbane. You see, this is what irritates me about the AFL. Why are teams helping Brisbane out? This is why the father-son shits me. Because all these people are just going to go into some kind of magic conveyor belt and jettisoned in the fires of Mount Doom. So we ain't going to, these picks aren't going to see the name of light because if the AFL is sensible, 2 picks will come in the top 20 for Jasper Fletcher and Ashcroft. They'll be screwed. But they won't, someone will be nice to them. But this is it here. Tom Berry, good little bit of business stuff for Gold Coast, let's be honest. Could be anything. He's not going to be as good as his brother, but I don't think he's got the opportunities, if I'm all honest. They need to be speculative. My only question is, why are you helping them out? You know what I mean? Like, 46 is a bit of nothing big. The future second, you could argue, what's that going to be? It's going to be probably in the 30s anyway, so it's right in between the first 2 picks they're giving up in that deal. Crafty little forward, though, isn't he, Berry? 20 games, though, that's the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Yes, you probably need another Rankine, but you'd say then Long is probably a better pressure forward than Tom Berry. 25 years old and 20 games. I just think I don't understand. I would have expected a better player if I was going to help a team out, but not a list manager for me. I just see the sense of it. I see the sense in Brisbane's, and to the extent I see the type of player for Gold Coast. But for me, it feels like a lot of teams are helping Brisbane out here, and fuck Brisbane. You know what I mean? Punish them a little bit. So it is what it is. But there it is. Then that is the recap. See you tomorrow for the recap of today's news. Much love to everyone.